in essentially every public protest against surveillance, surveillance has won. I actually can't think of a time that it hasn't. Can you guys? In America, can you think of a time where there was an attempt by the corporate government duopoly to implement surveillance measures and then public backlash pushed back on it? Patriot Act, PRISM. It seems like every single time the state wants to increase surveillance, they get their way. Whether or not it's legal, it doesn't actually matter if it's legal. You guys see this?
Walking up to one of the cameras.
Several damaged flock cameras in Monterey County, renewing a debate about privacy and safety. In Seaside, 2 cameras were seemingly cut down, both along Del Monte near the Home Depot parking lot.
There's more than just vandalism alone. I'm sure people have seen on the internet that this is kind of a trend. So we're looking at possible conspiracy to commit a crime beyond vandalism. And also those flock cameras are computer systems. So it's denying access to a computer system, which is a felony in California.
Because people on the internet don't like being surveilled by our pedophile demon overlords, they're now considering charging people who take down flock cameras with conspiracy to commit a crime rather than mere vandalism. Sorry, listen, okay, destroying a car, destroying a building, these are mere acts of vandalism, but taking down a flock camera, that's terrorism, according to Flock's CEO at least.
On Tuesday, the Monterey County Sheriff's Office reporting the arrest of a Pismo Beach man for allegedly destroying 3 flock license plate readers.
Doesn't conspiracy require more than one person? That's why they're saying that nebulous internet chitter-chatter about the subject constitutes conspiracy. Total abuse of our legal system, but that's like kind of the point of the charge.
One of those acts of vandalisms caught on camera.
So right now my detectives are investigating, the reason why he did it. Is there any motivations? Is he connected to other crimes that may have occurred into the area?
Detectives say he caused thousands of dollars in damages. Across the country, people have been organizing against mass surveillance.
What we're seeing in the public is pushback and outcry against this mass surveillance, this warrantless mass surveillance. So some people are taking...
Did we talk about this on stream? Did you guys see that there was like a flock camera? It was found that one of the executives at the flock company accessed like 1 camera over the course of a day out of hundreds that he was looking over, and the 1 camera he was looking at was looking inside a children's gymnasium. He was looking at little girls in leotards doing gymnastics or whatever.
Action, I'm not going to
like
encourage
all day.
But what we have to be concerned about is an ongoing assault on our civil liberties.
Monterey County criminal defense attorney Chris Kane says there is a constitutional concern.
Flock cameras are more than just traffic cameras. It's actually warrantless searches and mass surveillance on everyone. It records a lot more than just a license plate. It'll record data for where a person's going, where they've been, and increasingly it's recording facial recognition.
Law enforcement continues to say...
Yeah, look at this. Sorry, I just wanted to pull it up. I don't remember if I talked about this before. Oh, it's the Yahoo News summary, AI, blah, blah, blah. This is what happened in Dunwoody, Georgia, where flock safety workers accessed cameras in children's spaces at the Marcus Jewish Community Center as part of sales demonstrations. Despite learning about these intrusions, Dunwood City Council renewed their surveillance contract with Flock anyway. Well, there's your update. Even after using it to spy on... Well, here's the... Public records reveal specific dates when Flock employees viewed sensitive locations for commercial purposes. Details uncovered through public records requests. Flock's Randy Gluck, the last name, Gluck, viewed cameras labeled Jim Mendel 1 and Main Pool Right. Vice President Bob Carter accessed the gymnastics camera during kids' classes. Nearly 3 hours of public protest couldn't sway officials committed to surveillance expansion. That's pretty cool. Genuinely the death of any hope to firm action against authoritarianism. Stuff like this has really been red-pilling me on, like, we need to just abandon or abolish local government. The fact is like, local government is often the least democratic of all. Basically, nobody pays attention to it, which means they operate with effective impunity. There's not really much of a difference between nobody pays attention and nobody controls you. There's not much of a difference there. And it seems like every city councilor can be bought for $1,000 to just do anything. Like, all these data centers are going up because these, there's like no oversight. There's no like corruption investigations. It's all too local and small. We're talking about systems where there's absolutely no money for oversight because we're dealing with threadbare city council member level surveillance, but at the same time businesses have multi-billion-dollar investments in areas that are under the jurisdiction of that city council. Probably just shouldn't have city councils then, genuinely. Like, it seems like an unbelievably exploitable system, which is of course the project of apathy. My dad asked a city council member in a neighboring city about her flock vote. She said everyone else voted for it, so I did too. Yeah, that sounds about right. Check this out. 3 cops in my county were arrested recently for abusing the surveillance database gathered from flock cameras plus other license plate readers, more specifically for stalking their exes. I'm not gonna lie, genuinely surprised they got arrested for this. Like, it seems like there's basically just no holds barred here, you know? I'm shocked they got arrested. The answer is to destroy the evil companies, not local democracy. Well, my argument is that there is no local democracy. Like, city councilors just tend to do whatever they want, basically, especially for smaller communities, and companies know that. And I don't know if there's, like, a systematic way of fixing that. Like, you can just get them to do anything you want, basically. I feel like you could probably replace them with at least like county level. At least county level. You've got city councilors for towns of like 4,000 people. At least county level. Local government power is the reason Anglo countries are so much more cooked than others in the world. That is true. That is true. English common law and its obsession with you know, federalized multi-tiered legalisms and property rights. It is the reason why data centers can go up in 3 seconds, but it takes like 50 years to clear the environmental reviews required to build a 5/1.
Say that the cameras are helping them fight crime.
Whenever you take away what we call an LPR system, any camera system, you're taking away a tool that our investigators are using to help solve other crimes.
Flock giving a statement to KSBW saying, in part, these are tools agencies rely on to respond quickly and help keep people safe. People have every right to make their voices heard, but criminal acts should never be part of that process.
But the problem is that, like, your voice is being heard means absolutely nothing. In essentially every public protest against surveillance, surveillance has won. I actually can't think of a time that it hasn't. Can you guys? In America, can you think of a time where there was an attempt by the corporate you know, the corporate government duopoly to implement surveillance measures and then public backlash push back on it? Patriot Act, PRISM. It seems like every single time the state wants to increase surveillance, they get their way. Whether or not it's legal, it doesn't actually matter if it's legal.
Another concern is the security of the camera itself. It's unclear if the flock cameras have internal security and if their data could be breached, it could be shared with other third parties. Reporting in Salinas, Jacqueline Quinones, KSBW.
In your opinion, can surveillance actually be counted with electoralism? No, I think this is actually like a fundamental flaw with democracy. Surveillance, privacy, these are things that people don't have a solid price tag on. Or what I mean to say is the value of privacy is abstract, so people will often trade it away. It's the same reason that like the average citizen would probably trade away their right to vote for $1,000. Because on an individual level, your privacy means very little. Unless you're a criminal, your privacy doesn't mean very much. Nobody factors in the greater cost, the social cost of the state and corporations having unlimited access to everyone's 3D asshole scans. Like, would you find it acceptable if people had the right to sell their enfranchisement, their right to vote? Probably not. Yeah, I saw this clip. This guy got arrested at a public comment meeting for clapping after somebody spoke out against flock cameras.
Yeah, I have a right to clap all the time, so.
Here. Come on, drag me out. Come on, drag me out. Come on, do it. Please let go of the circle.
No, Jay.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, turn over. Come on, get on your feet. Get on your feet, dude.
It's not okay.
It was very clear at the beginning that each person is given their 2 minutes. And we're trying to be respectful of that. Snapping, clapping, any other rude comments or anything, we will ask you to leave. You've been finally warned. And
like, this isn't, I'm sorry, but this isn't meaningfully democracy. A bunch of paid off city councilors who you can bribe with like a couple Benjamins, you know, being like, if anyone speaks out against us, the cops will immediately drag you out. Like, this is, come on. No, it's not democracy. There's no oversight here.
we're done.
We are who matter.
Oh, this was
we
data
are
centers,
the
not
people,
flock?
and the table
Okay.
belongs to us.
Same.
Thank you.
All right, next. You asked, will you take the next person out that class or anything, please? Thank you.
Yes.
I have a right to clap all the time, so.
Here. Come on, drag me out. Come on, drag me out. Come on, do it. Please let go of the circle.
No, Jay.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, turn over. Come on, get on
What'd he do? He clapped like 4 times.
your feet. Get on your feet, dude.
It's
Not okay. Not okay, guys. For clapping one time.
Main question is how long people will tolerate it. Well, again, that's my, like, I don't think the Alex Palantir vision of the future is going to work, like a technocratic surveillance dystopia panopticon deal. I don't think it's actually going to work. I don't think it's socially stable. The problem is, I think that the alternative to it is not a mass rejection of surveillance, but rather total anarchy. And I mean that in the negative context. My apologies for being chuddy with my language. I think that what we're actually looking at is not like a principled rejection of mass surveillance, but rather just total urban decay. As every once in a while, you know, armed, it's like RoboCop shit, you know, armed militias of government and private interests will like maraud into a city, set up surveillance hubs, and then they'll get taken down by like 14-year-olds who are skipping school or whatever. Like, it's not we build something better, it's that the state continues to build something worse and people just break it in a way that makes it impossible for it to function. There's a big difference between people resisting like surveilling efforts and like them being overcome electorally, I suppose. Oh, come on, that's extreme? I don't really think so. It's kind of happening everywhere. Whenever the deep state, I should say, wants you to be surveilled, they get what they want. They'll buy off anyone they need to. It doesn't matter whether it's against the law. They'll get what they want. Everything, every new technology, every device around you is spying on you all the time. We know this. Whether or not it's illegal is immaterial. As people become more aware of this, I don't think it's going to like be banned for your phone to listen to you. I just think you're going to get more hashtag break your phone challenges on TikTok or whatever, you know? They're not gonna ban molesting you or whatever. It's just more molesters are going to get strung up. It's not going to be good. Oh, speaking of,
this might be one of the wilder trends of the year because thousands of people on TikTok and Instagram have now become obsessed with taking down AI-powered police cameras.
I know it sounds crazy, but like there is a non-zero chance that this YouTuber right here gets charged by the Justice Department for incitement to terrorism. They are trying to make it terrorism to take down flock cameras, and I guarantee you this video's tone could be construed by a bad faith prosecutor as incitement or encouragement. 100%. I guarantee you it could. Absolutely it could.
Some are climbing ladders, others are throwing cheese on solar panels, and you have entire accounts just dedicated to tracking where these cameras are currently located. So now you have a whole trend where people are documenting these cameras, mocking them, and celebrating every time one stopped working. So what exactly is Flock safety, and why has a surveillance company become the internet's newest villain?
Flock identifies itself as a public safety technology company that uses connected cameras to help communities across the country respond to and investigate safety incidents. Critics argue the company is a massive...
Nithya Raman has called for Flock to be banned in LA. That's quite nice. Why is it there in the first place? Oh, that's a lot of posting, huh? Flock is everywhere? Yeah, I know, because thousands and thousands of city councils have decided to let it in because they've been paid off. I'm sorry, like whatever degree of cynicism you're applying to this, you should double it and pass it to the next guy. It's really bad. These decisions, you have no idea how much money and effort Flock and Palantir and so on spend just reaching out to thousands of members of local, state, and national government and molesting their brains, convincing them to go along with it. Do you have any idea? I guarantee you basically every city councilor in every major city in America has had somebody reach out to them at some point. Just an obscene level of top to bottom control, you know? Now I'm seeing change. Yes, it's very bad, but resistance is growing. Okay. But the point I'm making is that the society that we're moving towards right now is not one where we fix the problem, but rather one where the government is powerless and ineffectual and is not able to consistently maintain the panopticon. There's a difference between a free man and a prisoner in a broken prison. You understand? We're moving towards a world with urban decay, constant vandalization of government and private property, but like no systemic changes. We're moving towards a world where you get arrested if you don't pay your taxes, but a significant portion of your taxes are government rebates to Palantir and Flock for rebuilding the cameras you destroyed. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about like problems that are being destroyed with no solutions.
Flock cameras are under attack politically and physically. Flock cameras are solar-powered license plate readers mounted on poles, photographing every car that passes. The license plate, make, model, color, dents, and bumper stickers, everything you can imagine. And all of it gets uploaded to a searchable database that thousands of police departments can pull from. 80,000 of these cameras are out there nationwide, and there's
I wonder why they needed to put a flock camera inside a gymnasium that children were using. Like, genuinely, the argument for these being mere license plate readers kind of fell apart a little while ago. I don't know how many people are driving their cars through the local municipal pool.
Evidence that local police have handed that access to federal immigration agents. Now, politically, dozens of cities have voted to cancel their flock contracts outright, including most notably the LAPD. Physically, people are damaging flock cameras across the country. Just north of Atlanta, someone cut 3 poles in half and left solar panels in the grass destroyed. In Virginia, an Air Force engineer took apart 13 cameras with vice grips and threw some of them off a highway overpass. He's facing 25 charges. In New Mexico, a man cut down cameras and solar panels, leaving flags reading Republic of New Mexico in their place. He's looking at 18 years on 9 felony counts. Now, many are calling this civil disobedience, but to me, it's not. Real civil disobedience means standing behind what you did publicly and accepting consequences. Rosa Parks staying in her seat, sit-ins at segregated lunch counters, suffragettes chaining themselves to the White House fence. In all of these instances, you want to get caught.
There is an element of truth here, but the problem is that privacy is too abstract of a value. Like, you can make a stronger public statement by doing this publicly and standing by it. And you can potentially defend legally what you're doing. Like, you can stand your ground and try to make that case. The problem is that, like, you know, Rosa Parks, Jim Crow laws, the suffragettes, you can't vote. Very immediate, very direct. Whereas surveillance, like, most people's lives aren't and haven't been directly noticeably affected by the panopticon, you know?
To bring attention to the injustice. That's the whole point. But these people who are destroying cameras, they're trying to escape and not get caught. That's why they fled. But ironically, they've been getting caught by flock cameras.
Well,
the
yeah.
Virginia engineer got caught by a traffic camera that spotted his truck. The New Mexico man tried offloading the stolen solar panels in his neighbor's trash cans. Both were trying to get away from it, and both were caught by the same exact network that they're damaging. Police pulled audit logs off the flock system to identify who did this. Now, I think flock cameras are bad. I don't like them either. But this isn't the way.
This doesn't make this video is kind of fucking retarded. So wait, is he endorsing what they're doing or not? Is he saying that he would be upset if Rosa Parks had chosen to stay in her seat but then ran? Like, he would be like, well, that's not the way. I don't understand. Look, it's really, really difficult to engage with this from a liberal framework because ostensibly the panopticon it's legal. You know, it's being done in the right way in a lot of cases. It's just that, like, the right way, like, whether or not something follows the rules is pretty immaterial when it comes to, you know, the ethics of the subject. It's just not helpful. The real dystopian story on the flock cameras is this one. I've had this one in the back pocket for a little bit. This one's real fucking freaky. A Texas cop searched license plate cameras nationwide for a woman who got an abortion. The sheriff said the woman self-administered the abortion and her family were concerned for her safety, so authorities searched through flock cameras. Oh, I'm sure. Experts are still concerned that a cop in a state where abortion is illegal can search cameras in others where it's a human right. Real good, real good. I don't know if he can legally advocate for the destruction of flock cameras. No, but the problem is that he's doing this weird, like, liberal, white, moderate, half-hand pearl clutching where he's like, you know, I disagree with flock cameras too, but this isn't the way. Which, like, what does that mean? What are you talking about, you know? How can they look at another state's database? Because they're looking at the Flock database, which is national. It's just a private company they have contracts with. No pearl clutching here. Yeah, and that's great and everything, but you all understand what I'm talking about here, about the difference between society breaking down because the state keeps trying to implement authoritarian measures and the people resist it, but the state never, like, stops doing it. There are countries like Russia's like that, Brazil is like that. There are countries where the social order has decayed to a point where there's a total disconnect between the government and the people, so the government just keeps trying to molest kids and the people keep on saying stop molesting kids, but nothing ever changes. America's like that. Well, America is getting to be like that, but interpersonal crime and vandalism just isn't that common here. But we're getting there. We'll get there. What's the consequence of that in the long run? I don't know. Everything looks like Russia. A failed state. Their single search for the woman spread across 6,809 different flock networks with a total of 83,000 cameras. Because, of course, it's AI, right? It's not just a license plate reader. Every time you walk in front of a flock camera, it registers your face, and your face is registered to your identity. So all the cops in America can at all times know where you are as long as you've walked past a flock camera. The search got a couple of hits on her on flocks in Dallas. On the fact the sheriff's office performed a nationwide search and not just one in Texas, King said, that way we're hitting everything, every possibility. They also log your Bluetooth devices in your phone. Yeah, of course. They can. Just worth noting that my understanding is that tracking your phone via your cell signal at the very least requires a warrant, but cops can access the flock network without a warrant. That's my understanding, at least. They can triangulate your phone within a few feet by bouncing Wi-Fi signals to it. They don't need a warrant for that either. I don't think the average police department has the ability to do that, though. Sorry, why can cops access the flock network without a warrant? I mean, it's just an interaction between the cops and a private company, right? It's not any more a violation of your rights than the existence of the flock cameras to begin with. Stalking your ex or extorting people via using flock as a job perk, I suppose. Oh, cops have been abusing their power to stalk their exes for as long as cops have existed. It's like the main thing it's literally like the main benefit of the job, is my understanding. Many such cases. If you have an ex who's a cop, you're in trouble. Never date a cop. Don't even fuck them. If they get obsessed with you, they can ruin your life. Look at our future in Brazil.
Sao Paulo, the largest city in the Americas, ultra-connected and now ultra-surveyed. Over 50,000 cameras constantly watch the 24 million inhabitants of this megacity. Every 3 minutes here, a mobile phone is stolen. The surveillance is known as Smart Sampa, the largest facial recognition system in Latin America. In theory, it's meant to protect citizens.
Fala, Ailton, beleza? Beleza, demorou.
Ailton Alves lives in Heliópolis, Sao Paulo's largest favela. Since the cameras were installed, his life has become a nightmare.
Once
I was arrested on this very route. I was on foot walking along quietly, and there was a police car waiting for me at the bus stop.
It was human error that linked his photo to that of his namesake, a man wanted for the murder of a police officer in another state. He's been arrested 5 times in just 7 months.
Mãe, a senhora está em casa? Tudo bem com a senhora?
Domingo de manhã.
When I saw it was the police, I thought to myself, I just have to get out.
It was by going public with his story that Ailton finally managed to have his face removed from the system. But the manhunt has traumatized his whole family.
Can you imagine the shame I felt in front of my family, my neighbors? I've lived here all my life. I know everyone.
We're just left with a sense of injustice. And what's become of him, his mental state, and all the job opportunities he's lost? Who's making amends? No one.
With a budget of over €1.5 million a month,
They won't even update a database row for you. Well, this is also kind of my point with regard to the externality that is privacy and how much people value it. This is only getting coverage because of a mistake, you know? Oh, there's an error in the system. So what? Theoretically, if you corrected all the errors, there wouldn't be an issue? No, I disagree. I think it's bad even if it worked perfectly.
Sampa nonetheless boasts of being infallible.
7 anos de fuga acabam em poucos minutos. Smart Sampa, inteligência para deixar São Paulo mais segura. Prefeitura de São Paulo.
The city council shows off how successful it's been right at the entrance to the control center with this arrest counter. Luis Antonio is in charge of 250 officers who keep an eye on the whole city 24 hours a day.
5. Pegamos. Mais um.
Cadê que ele tá? Tá com você? Tá com a gente aqui. Parabéns à equipe aí.
In the last 2 years, thefts have fallen by over 15%, 153 missing persons have been found, and even more impressively, nearly 10,000 people have been arrested, all caught in the act or on the run from the police, according to the inspector.
I'm sure.
These are criminals wanted for murder, rape, or robbery. When they pass near a
murder, rape, or robbery. That's kind of a wide net we're casting here, you know, everything from murder to pickpocketing.
camera, the AI identifies them and alerts us. We only send a patrol when the AI is 92% certain.
Cool.
We never send one if it's less than that. It's almost 100% certain.
But the system is now under heavy suspicion of racial profiling, accusations the city council denies. The case of Ailton Alves, an exception according to them.
Out of 100% of arrests, there is barely a 1% error rate.
The City Council's Transparency Report, published in 2025, states 82 people were wrongfully arrested in just 6 months. The official data...
See, the problem isn't even the wrongful arrest. The problem is the technology to begin with. The idea that the best way to correct crime and inequality is a fucking panopticon where Minority Report cops are deployed to your location the moment they see you stealing a loaf of bread. This is like the reason that, like, I don't know, Sweden has a very low crime rate and Brazil has a very high crime rate is not because Sweden surveilled out all the criminals. It's the low crime societies are generally low crime because of high social cohesion, low inequality, and the existence of a social safety net that means people can't fall through the cracks. Inequality is the biggest predictor. But of course, you give a $50 trillion to these cops, you give them all the Minority Report tech dystopian bullshit in the world, and they're like, you can tell we're making a difference because we caught 50 million people last year. Crime and inequality? Well, crime's up. Inequality's up. But, you know, at least we're arresting a lot of them. If arrests are up, that must mean crime is up too, right? Like, or I guess I should say that's inaccurate. If arrests are high, crime is high. Wouldn't it be better to just not have the crime to begin with? It's not, again, like, this is why I hate it when they focus on, like, mistaken identity, you know? Oh, the AI made a mistake. I don't care if the AI made a mistake. The AI doing what it's intended to do is the real problem.
Doesn't specify their race, but Ailton and his lawyer are convinced that racial bias exists. They've decided to take the state and the city of Sao Paulo to court for emotional distress. According to them, Smart Sampa mainly targets black men from marginalized neighborhoods.
His cousin went through the same thing.
And he's black too. That's what I'm saying. This sort of thing only happens to black people. The way the system works is purely based on appearance.
The majority of the Brazilian population is black, and yes, discrimination exists. And mainly, I'm telling you this because I experience it myself in the hood. When police enter a favela, they don't want to know anything about you. They just treat you like a criminal.
The profiling isn't even the main issue, man. Like, it's obviously a problem, but the intended outcome of this system is the worst possible outcome. Whatever. Thoughts on the police/prison abolition Twitter discourse? It's Twitter discourse. You know, it's never going to leave Twitter discourse. I'm sorry, the prison abolition people are just completely disconnected from reality. It's not, there's not even anything to engage with there. They don't even have any solutions. They just talk over you. What about police abolition? How about this? How about we stop pitching people's approval of slogans and start proposing actual policy changes? What do you mean? Rather than saying prison abolition, what exactly do you mean? Rather than saying police abolition, what do you actually mean? I bet you if people had to actually describe what they were talking about, we'd get a lot less bullshit talking past each other because people are trying to debate the semantics of slogans. Instead, why don't we talk about the changes we actually want to see? Yeah, I really do think the prison/police abolition stuff is just a game of virtue signaling for Twitter lefties. You're not actually getting any of this shit done. You don't even want this shit to get done. It always comes back to fucking vigilantism. Goddamn freaks. Here, we got to clear some tabs. I got way the fuck too many here. Way the fuck too many.